Why did you come back?
I had to, that's all.
Many of the noir pictures, like Postman, are about a man who gets sort of caught up in the spider web that a woman spins for him. You have these femme fatales who take guys and kind of lead them astray. And they also were based on novels or short stories that were written during the 1930s.
I'd like to see him get plastered like that some night and drive off a cliff.
Garfield is a perfect actor to play this character. That's why MGM borrowed him from Warner Brothers. He had been in movies since the late 30s. He had always been a kind of rebellious figure. He was just perfect for this role. His introduction in the film is also terrific as he hitches a ride with what turns out to be the district attorney and then gets out at this particular location, and the first thing he sees is a man wanted sign, which obviously has a little double meaning.
That's why you've got to help me. It's because I do love you.
Yes, you do. You couldn't get me to say yes to a thing like this if you didn't.
Lana Turner was introduced in movies. I think her first film was in 1937. The greatest scene in The Postman Always Rings Twice is her introduction. It's one of the great introductions in Hollywood film history. You see John Garfield talking to Turner's husband, the Nick character, and then Nick goes outside and suddenly lipstick rolls across the floor toward him. And the camera focuses on the lipstick and then pans back to where the lipstick came from and stops on her legs. And then you cut to Garfield, and he's looking at her, and you can literally see his breath being taken away by her. And then we cut back to her, full shot, and you see this amazingly beautiful woman adopting a kind of Olympian disdain for him, teasing him, but acting like she's paying no attention to him. It's one of the great introductions of a character in film history, and it tells you a lot about the character. MGM kind of saw her in the Jean Harlow mold. They were looking for another kind of blonde bombshell, a really sexy kind of actress. At the same time, censorship is tough during this period, and they can't do the kinds of films that they had done with Harlow in the early 30s. So they're kind of looking for a way to position her as a star within the studio, and Postman makes her a much bigger star than she had been before.
What's the big idea of the suitcases?
The cast that MGM put together for this film was quite wonderful and is one of the reasons it's such a memorable film.
Chambers, my name's Arthur Keats. I'm Mrs. Smith's attorney.
Hume Cronin as the kind of sleazy but incredibly sharp lawyer. He almost steals the picture.
From now on, you speak only when you're spoken to.
He is so good. And Leon Ames, who's the slightly questionable district attorney, and you see these two guys going at one another, and they completely lose sight of what's right and wrong. It becomes a kind of contest.
Laddie, I pity you.
For how much money?
$100 even. She's a gone goose.
That's a bet.
Tay Garnett had a long, long career in Hollywood. He was not considered one of the, famous directors, but he was considered a very strong director, somebody who could handle the big stars of the times. It was the crown jewel of his career.
Quick, what happened?
I stuck to my story.
Same thing here.
This is a very unusual picture for MGM. This is not the kind of film that MGM was known for at this time. For the most part, they don't even do crime pictures or thriller kinds of films at all.
He's not going to get away with anything from now on, because I'm going to tell it all right now.
If you'll just let me handle it.
You handled it before, now I'll handle it.
Everybody still remembers this picture because the story itself and the way that it's played out is so quintessentially film noir.